The brand Ohuhu have come out with their very own watercolour paper. And as a watercolour artist, watercolour paper is an extremely important art supply to me, an important part of my process, as it is to other watercolour artists and other watercolour enthusiasts. At €15, more or less the same in dollars, for 30 sheets of paper, this paper is extremely budget friendly. So can it still perform? Because there's something different about it. Only the top layer is 100% cotton. Will it still be good watercolour paper? We're definitely going to find out in today's video. The quality of your watercolour paper is actually more important even than the quality of your watercolour paints. So I was quite intrigued when Ohuhu asked me to test this paper, which has the same price point as many cellulose paper pads, but promises to deliver the results you'd get with expensive artist-grade watercolour paper. And the clever trick is to have a layer of pure cotton on the surface, and the rest of the paper, the core of the paper, is basically wood pulp, which explains how they can afford to sell it at €15 per 30 sheets, which are 330 GSM each, which means they are pretty thick and should be able to take plenty of water, even if this is a pad, which means it's not glued down on all four sides, and sometimes that can cause the paper to buckle, so that was the first concern I had. Watercolour painting is a process carried out in layers, which can get very watery. That is why when I am planning on using watercolour, I switch from sketchbooks with regular paper to sketchbooks or blocks that contain 100% cotton paper, as it has better absorbency and the paint is distributed more evenly. You will find that cellulose paper or wood pulp paper will very often disintegrate before your eyes as you apply that second or third layer of paint. It is usually okay if you use very little water, or for quick tests like swatching, I use it for those things as well. But it's not very suitable for my style, for example, which is quite loose and splashy and involves puddles of water. A pad of pure cotton watercolour paper this size, which is A4, with this many sheets would easily cost double or even more. And for some of us that can be too expensive, especially when we paint a lot. Today I went for quite a different subject and decided to paint this adorable chimpanzee using only 3 primary colours to simplify the process and cut out the noise. And that's something I've been enjoying doing quite a lot recently, just limiting the number of colours I can use, not reaching for the whole range I have in my palettes, but just simplifying things. It allows me to concentrate on the painting process so much more and to really hyper-focus. I also asked Ohuhu to send me the hot pressed version of this paper, and of course the cold pressed version of this pad is available too. I find hot pressed personally is a better bet for me, because even though in some cases it can be too smooth, I'd rather paint on paper that is too smooth than on paper that is too textured. And I feel it was the right decision, because this paper is not so smooth that the paint will just sit on it. It is exactly the kind of satin grain that I like and feel comfortable using. It behaves just like cotton watercolour paper does, and the paint gets absorbed into it quite fast. And again, I just want to say the reason that for me hot press paper is better is just because of the subjects that I paint. If you paint landscapes, for example, I think that more texture paper is probably better for you. A very pleasant surprise for me was that, as I noticed in the initial swatching test at the beginning of this video, you can get perfectly even washes of paint on this paper, while at the same time you can achieve beautiful cauliflowers and hard edges. These can be blended out with a clean damp brush if you don't like them, if they're not your cup of tea. But for me, they are like the language of watercolour, and they are something I really want to be part of my paintings. They add so much interest, and each one is unique and unrepeatable. It's like that moment captured and forever locked in time. And since I know there are others out there who love these frilly patterns, I thought I'd point that out, as watercolour is a bit of a dance between those lost and found edges. When I get one of those happy accidents, my choice is always to keep them as part of the art and to not paint over them and blend them out. This paper is also vegan friendly, which means it's not sized with animal gelatin. And in case you didn't know, gelatin is used as the top layer that goes at the very surface of the paper to make paint distribution more even. Of course, this paper has a cotton top layer only on one side, so if you want to paint on the other side, you probably won't have the same experience. But I give it a quick try after filming this video, and I can say I would still use it for practice or swatching, maybe not for a full finished painting like the one I did for this video. But I don't do that on 100% cotton paper either. Sometimes I'm even hesitant to do it on my watercolour sketchbooks, as I always worry about the paint bleeding through or the paper buckling. Speaking of which, I was very impressed that in spite of the fact that these sheets are not glued down on 3 sides or 4 sides, this paper did not buckle at all, even though I didn't use water sparingly, as you probably saw. And by the way, Animals of Africa is our monthly theme over on my online Patreon community this May, so feel free to join us for some more in-depth live and recorded co-sketching and guided painting sessions. It's a welcome beginner-friendly group which can help you make your art practice more sustainable and to explore different techniques while having some light-hearted fun. I will leave the link for you in the description box. Also stay tuned because I will be hosting a free 2-part workshop at the end of May, so you can get a taste of what we do over there. You can sign up to my newsletter or join our Facebook group too, so you won't miss out on anything. And again, it will be easy for you to find all this info below this video. Now back to this Ohuhu paper, my honest opinion is yes, I would buy it and I would advise you to try it. The quality is fantastic without even taking into consideration how budget friendly it is and how much money you can save. And I cannot wait to try painting a human portrait on it as well because I love painting portraits. This was sent to me for free, but the video is not sponsored and the links I will leave below in the description box are not affiliate, which means I will not be making any money off of them if you use them. But they will allow you to get 10% off your Ohuhu Wailua pad and everything else on their website by using the code DRAWINGSINA at checkout. Thank you so much for watching this video and keeping me company today. Please leave any questions or video suggestions in the comments down below. And I will see you all next Sunday. Bye for now.